Hello everyone, I'm Angeline.
Hello, this is Sam.
Welcome to English Digest. We're so happy you could join us.
Yay.
So we have an interesting topic for you today. We're going to talk about freedom. So Sam, have you ever had your freedom taken away from you?
Yes, when I was serving in the army. Yeah,
Right.
That's a time old man in Taiwan has to been through. Yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like? I guess you couldn't sleep whenever you wanted, right?
No, you can't. You have to wake up really early and go running, and you have like your daily routine.
So it kind of feels like you're in jail almost, maybe?
I don't know. I've never been to jail.
That's right, that's true.
Yeah, but yeah, it kind of feels like it.
Can you go home every weekend?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, but like there's some weekends that I can't go home because there's practice or something. So
Yeah.
Still, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. I think aside from also losing your freedom because of constraints or maybe because of your teacher or your parents putting constraints on you, there's also another time where you lose your freedom, which is when you're sick or unwell. Okay, you're actually
physically.
Yeah, you lose your freedom to do certain things. For example, I have scoliosis, which is an abnormal curvature of the spine. So it means that my spine is kind of curved. So because of this condition, my back is prone to muscle strains and sprains. And one time my sprain was so severe, I could not get out of bed. So I lost my freedom to move around freely or even to walk.
Wow, that sounds really, really bad. It must be really hard not being able to move around.
Exactly, yeah.
Physically constrained, it's the worst.
So when we talk about our loss of freedom, we might not only just be talking about concepts like, not being able to do something or your parents taking your cell phone away from you.
Yeah.
It could also mean like physically you lost your freedom to do something.
Yes.
Right.
Physically, mentally. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so before we begin our topic-based writing today, let's take a look at our writing prompt.
OK， 好，所以呢，今天我们就要来写一篇跟自由有关系的一篇文章了。他说呢，匈牙利爱国诗人裴多菲呢曾写下生命诚可贵，爱情价更高，若为自由故，两者皆可抛。他的价值观你同意吗？请以自由为主题写一篇英文作文，文长至少120个单词，文分两段。OK， 第一段呢要描述你曾经被限制自由的经验，第二段呢则要说明你从这次经验中获得的体会与心得。
So before we begin any writing exercise, as usual, we've been saying it so many times, it's important to read the instructions carefully so you know what you have to do, okay? Make sure to pay attention to the criteria, such as the number of words or paragraphs your essay must include. In this writing exercise for today, our essay must have at least 120 words, okay? And it needs to be separated into 2 paragraphs. For this writing exercise, you have to compose a 120-word article on freedom. And the essay will discuss a time when your freedom was taken away from you and what you learned from that experience.
好，所以呢，今天要写你曾经被限制自由的经验。OK， 既然是呢要描述过去的经验，讲一个故事了，那就是要写一篇叙述文了。叙述文呢，很常出现在大考的作文题目当中了。它常见的类型包含了描述经验或者是事件。比方说呢，像我们这篇文章就是要描述你的个人经验失去自由的经验。那呢，叙述文呢也可以用来描述人物，比方说像你的朋友啊、你的老师、你的楷模 ，your role model。OK，那呢也可以用来描述物品了，比方说像是日常生活中的这些事情、这些东西，都可以是你叙述文的题材。今天呢，我们就来写一篇描述自己经验的文章。
So this might be the approach you might want to take for this writing exercise, okay? The first paragraph, maybe you can recount that experience, and then also include any important details concerning that incident.
好，所以呢，在我们提示里面已经有规定了，在第一个段落里面呢，就要讲讲你的经验了，发生了什么事，为什么发生。在这里呢，我们就要有很多很多的细节来支持你的这个经验，让读者更知道发生了什么事情。所以呢，记得了，我们呢可以问问看自己时事人地物 ，OK， 发生在什么时候，为什么发生，跟哪一些人有关系了，把你的经验仔细的、完整的描述出来。
The second paragraph should be more descriptive and should talk about the consequences of having your freedom being taken away from you. Okay?
第二个段落就要讲讲你在这个事件中学到了什么，有什么启发，或是这个事件呢对你的未来、对现在的你呢造成了什么的影响，都是呢我们可以在第二个段落里面来讲的。
Okay, and since this is a story about you,
Yes.
we'll be using first person. So I. And since you're also talking about a past experience, you'll be writing in mostly past tense, with some past perfect or perfect present as necessary.
OK, 没有错。既然呢是在讲你自己 ，OK， 我们肯定呢都是使用第一人称来撰写了，一定是我发生了什么事情，我怎么做了，然后我被怎么了 ，OK。那另外，既然是在讲过去的事情，时态呢自然是以过去式为主喽。
Our writing prompt begins with a quote which reads, "Life is dear, love is dear. Both can be given up for freedom." So what do you think about this quote, Sam?
I think that is very true. I can't imagine being controlled.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we were talking about like losing your freedom. I said I'd be really pissed if someone tell me like you can't do this, you cannot do that, or you cannot go out, especially at my age. You know, I'm an adult. And yeah, it must be hard.
Yeah. So life is dear, love is dear. Both can be given up for freedom. So I think I agree with this quote. I mean, look at our brave soldiers that fought in the wars before, right? They sacrificed their life, they sacrificed their love for freedom. Although not necessarily for themselves, but for generations to come.
Yes,
right?
for the future. Yeah.
They made a very big sacrifice. So I think in terms of freedom, a lot of people are willing to give up their love and their life.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, how are we going to draft out our first paragraph? Well, this is a narrative essay, so we need to write in chronological order. So you start by writing about the earliest thing and then go forwards to the latest thing. The story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Before we think about how we're going to write our essay, we need to make sure we have all the details we need to write about the experience, right? So you can do this by answering the 5 W's, like who, what, where, when, why, as well as how.
OK， 所以呢，在我们的第一个段落呢，我们刚刚讲过了，就要讲故事了，就要讲你过去发生的事情，你过去的经验。所以呢，我们注意到时间顺序了，这个什么事情先发生，什么事情后发生，然后再来呢，要注意到的是时态哦。因为过去发生的事情，我们一定要用过去式。那另外呢，刚刚也有提醒过大家，在写叙述文的时候呢，就是要问自己这些问题了，时事人地物，也就是 Angeline 刚刚说的这些 WH 的疑问词，比方说 who, what, where, when, OK。那呢，问自己这些问题呢，你就可以把很多的细节给定义出来，把故事的背景给设定好 ，OK。后面的写作呢，我们就不会走歪，不会糟践，不会写出奇怪的东西了。
Let's take some of these answers from writing sample 1, okay? So who is this story about? You.
Yes.
So when? Well, the first writing sample says this experience happened at the age of 16.
OK， 所以呢，谁是故事的主角？刚刚已经提醒过了，这是你自己的经验，所以当然是你了。我们全文呢都是用第一人称来写这篇文章。那至于发生在什么时候呢？以我们的范例文章一为例了，这个事情呢就发生在他16岁的时候喽。
Okay, now let's answer the question why. Well, in writing sample 1, the writer talks about why he or she drove their parents' scooter.
Yeah.
Because it was a dare, right? And also why the writer lost their freedom, because he or she crashed his or her parents' scooter.
OK， 所以呢，为什么他的自由会被限制呢？在文章里面就讲到了，是因为呢，他偷骑了他爸妈的摩托车，而且呢，还把车给撞坏了，所以呢，就被禁足喽。
So writing down the 5 W's and how will help to make sure your story makes sense, right? You don't want to leave important details out. Otherwise, the audience might have a difficult time following your story. Just make short, simple answers, 1 or 2 words. We'll work on making them into sentences later. Okay, so now let's take a look at our second paragraph. In the second paragraph, you'll discuss what happened as a result of this loss of freedom. Let's take a look at writing sample 1. Because the writer was confined to his or her house, right? He or she couldn't go out. He or she tried to find ways to keep themselves occupied or to keep themselves busy. So the writer learned how to care for a vehicle. Also learned what it costs to maintain the vehicle, I guess because the scooter was crashed. So maybe they went to the workshop and found out how expensive it was to fix the vehicle. Though the writer lost his or her freedom, he or she learned about responsibility, gained a new skill, and even allowed him or her to earn back his or her parents' trust. Okay?
所以呢，在我们的第二个段落里面呢，我们就要继续接续着第一段了。刚刚我们第一段呢讲的是你这个事情哦，这个事情怎么发生。那在第二段呢，就要讲它的启发咯。以我们的翻译力来说呢，因为呢这个作者他在家里很无聊，所以呢他就开始找事情做了。他呢，结果因祸得福，学到了很多。他不止呢学会了怎么修这个摩托车之外呢，同时呢，他也透过了这个 过程呢学习了怎么负责任，并且呢还赢回了他父母的信任哦。所以呢第二段落我们就是要来讲他获得了什么样的启发，这个经验呢造成他人生之中有什么样的影响。
Okay, so now that you have a general idea of what you're going to write in the first and second paragraphs, it's time to organize those ideas into an outline, okay? Outlines are important in the writing process. It's the foundation of your essay. Outlines allow you to organize the paragraphs into order so that it makes sense, and then also make sure that the paragraph is fully developed, okay? We also need to make sure we have an introduction and a conclusion. Let's take a look at the introduction for writing sample 1.I will never forget the month that my parents wouldn't let me go out or hang out with my friends as punishment for crashing their scooter. So this introduction is well written, right? It's concise. It gets to the point. From this one sentence, we found out why and how the writer is being punished.
好的，所以呢，在第一个段落的第一句，不管你是写什么样类型的文章呢，我们都需要一个 intro， 一个介绍。这个主题句，这个介绍句呢，就可以让我们知道说，接下来这篇文章的内容是要讲一些什么东西了。所以呢，在我们的这个范例1里面呢，它的这个介绍呢，就是写的一清二楚，这句话就把所有故事要讲的事情都讲完了。他说呢，他不会忘记这个回忆，什么回忆呢？他偷骑车，还把车撞坏，所以被禁足的这段过去哦。第一句呢，就把我们整篇文章的重点给点出来了，这个就是 intro。写什么文章呢，都会需要一个这样子的句子。
And so once you write down your introduction or you have your introduction, it actually paves the way for the rest of the essay. Okay, so now you can add details and turn the answers we brainstormed earlier into full sentences. Let's take a look at the outline for writing sample 1. Okay, so the first sentence, I will never forget the month that I was grounded.Okay, and then my friends dared me to ride my parents' scooter. So I don't know what type of friends he's hanging around with.
But sounds like a bad friend.
Yeah, bad company, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they dared him or her to ride parents' scooter, which means like they pretty much said, I dare you to.
Yeah.
My parents were furious and wouldn't let me go out. Okay, so obviously they were furious. You took your parents' vehicle without asking them.And so obviously the parents were furious, and as a punishment, they wouldn't let this writer go out, okay? And finally, I was even forbidden from using my phone or playing basketball after school. Oh, so that'll teach you a lesson, wouldn't it?
OK， 所以呢，在这边呢，我们刚刚接续着我们的这个intro 这个我们的开头句之后呢，后面呢，你就可以开始把更多的细节加进来，所以我们就可以来写我们的 outline， 我们的大纲了。在这边呢，我们刚刚已经 brainstorm 写出了很多个点哦，比方说这个事情怎么发生，这个事情呢是什么时候发生，是哪一些人跟这个事情有关。刚刚我们问这些问题，这些细节呢，在这边我们就可以用完整的句子把它写出来。那呢，这些句子就可以依照时间顺序排下来，就变成我们的大纲。那变成大纲之后呢，你就可以知道说，哪里需要更多细节，你就可以加进去；哪里呢东西太多，可以要删掉一点，等等的，我们可以来做调整。那最后呢，再把更多细节加进去，其实我们的文章就可以完成。所以提醒大家呢，最好都要写这个大纲。那我们来看一下我们这个 writing sample 我们的范例1里面的这个第一段的主题句咯。他说呢 ，My friends dare me to ride my parents' scooter。OK， 在这边呢，他的朋友们呢怎么样呢？就是这个 dare 在这边其实就是我赌你不敢去骑你爸妈的摩托车，所以呢，这个主角就傻傻的去骑了，然后呢把这个车子给撞坏了。所以呢，他的父母怎么样呢？他们 furious 就是非常生气有暴怒，我们就会说 furious。然后呢，禁足他不让他出门，而且还怎么样呢？不让他用他的手机，也不准他下课之后去打篮球。在这边 forbidden 这个字呢，就是禁止的意思，禁止他做什么事情。
Okay, so now let's take a look at the second paragraph. So what happened after this writer got grounded? Okay, so the first week I stayed in my room. Okay, since you can't go out, you can't play basketball, you can't use your phone. I guess there's nothing else but staying.
I wonder if he or she has a like PlayStation or
so it wouldn't feel
or
that
maybe a PC. Yeah.
It wouldn't feel like punishment, right? Because at least you have something to do. Yeah. Okay. And then after that, I started looking for ways to keep busy. So I guess after staying in your room for 1 week, and I'm guessing no TV, no PlayStation, no Nintendo, they had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So obviously, once you get bored, you kind of find ways to keep yourself busy, right? Yeah. So apparently, he or she asked his or her father to teach them how to maintain the family car and scooter. So they're learning how to take care of the car and scooter. And at the end of the month, I knew more about the cost and care of a vehicle. So because this writer learned how to maintain or to take care of the family car and scooter, he learned a little bit more about the cost. How much does it cost to maintain the family car and scooter? Yeah, you don't just buy a car and then you just drive it. You always have to repair it. Yeah, maintain it. Sometimes you have to go and check its oil, and obviously there's the gas that you have to pay, but the car eventually will kind of start deteriorating, which means you need to start replacing some of its parts. So this person learned the cost and how to care for a vehicle.
所以在第二段落呢，我们这个作者就讲说，他因为被禁足哦，他在他的房间里面发生了什么事情呢？首先呢，他经过了一个礼拜，他非常的无聊哦，所以呢，我们可以知道他大概房间里面除了手机之外，他也没有其他东西可以玩。
Actually, he can't even use his phone, right?
Yeah,
He's forbidden from using his phone.
Yeah, so probably no internet.
Yeah.
Maybe he or she doesn't have a PC or a laptop. So, wow, life without internet. That's what a punishment. OK, 所以呢，他很无聊之后呢，他开始怎么样呢？他开始来找looking for， 就是呢来找什么东西。他 looking for ways， 找一些方式让他自己呢 keep busy， 就是让他自己很忙哦，有点事情做。所以呢，他找他的爸爸呢来学习呢，怎么样呢来维修怎么样来保养这个车辆，包含这个 scooter 跟 car， 他的车子跟他的摩托车。那最后呢 ，at the end of the month， 在这个故事的最后，禁足的最后呢，他知道了，他学习了很多怎么样来照顾车辆的知识。
Okay, and then finally, we need to have a conclusion, right? To sum up the entire essay. And the writer writes, My lack of freedom let me gain responsibility, earn back my parents' trust, and gain a new skill.
好，所以在我们的文章里面呢，他最后一句简单的用一句话来下了一个结论他的结论呢就是说，在这段期间呢，虽然失去了自由呢，但他学会了很好的技能，学会要负责任，并且呢还赢回他这个父母的信任所以呢，我们记得文章的最后呢，我们刚刚讲了开头要有一个介绍，一个开头句，那结尾的地方呢，记得也要有一个结论句下一个结论，不然这个文章就永远写不完了。
So earlier, Sam mentioned already that an outline helps to make sure that you have enough information. Also helps you to figure out if you have too much information, right? So of course an outline is very important. And once you actually finish writing an outline, you'll see that your essay is finally taking shape. Actually, you could probably submit an outline.
Yeah.
You probably just need to add a few more words, right? Yeah.
对所以一样再一次提醒大家，不论什么文章在写作之前呢，最好都要先规划一个大纲。大纲呢可以帮助你更快更容易的完成文章像刚才Angeline讲，搞不好你大纲写完，其实文章就已经写完了。所以千万别偷懒，不要直接开始写，这样你很有可能在这个写作途中就卡关了。
So now that you have your introduction, your conclusion, and your outline completed, writing your body paragraphs is actually very straightforward, okay? All you need to do is expand the ideas, maybe add, a sentence here or there, or maybe add some transition words, because transition words are very helpful, right? And then you're pretty much done.
Yeah, 所以呢，其实我们刚刚再讲一次，有了大纲之后，文章进行就会更加容易你只需要在这些重点句之间呢，穿插更多的细节，甚至呢，不是更多的细节，你只是加入一些 transition words， 就是这些连接词比方说这个转折语气的，像 however 或者说补充的 moreover in addition 这些词呢，在这个文章里面把它加进去，其实你的文章就很丰富了。所以其实写这个大纲呢，可以帮助你更快速的来完成文章。
Exactly, and our essay only needs 120 words.
Yeah,
so it's really easy to reach 120 words, and maybe even you'll find out that after you put more transitions in, you might need to take some information out because it's too much already. Okay, so in our second writing sample, the writer actually took a different approach, okay? The writer talked about not having the freedom to date while she was in high school, and then the writer discussed how she worked around this restriction.
Okay.
So for her, she wasn't punished, and then she had to find a way to deal with the fact that she has a loss of freedom. She actually pretty much just mentioned what was it that she had a restriction on in her life and how she worked around that.
Yeah. OK, 所以在第二个范例呢，它切入的点很不一样跟我们刚刚讲这个失去自由，我们刚刚讨论的自由很不一样。它不是说禁足也不是在讲你的身体不方便，而是呢在讲他高中的时候被禁止怎么样不能约会的这种失去自由。这是一个很好的切入点你在写作的时候也可以练习看看咯。
Okay, so let's take a look at some of our words and phrases that we use in writing sample 1 that maybe you guys need a little bit more supplementary information about. Okay, so Sam, have you ever played Truth or Dare?
Yes, when I was younger, when I was a student.
When you were a student, okay. So dare, if you dare someone to do something, you're actually defying or challenging someone to do something. So that means you're actually telling somebody to do something that they probably shouldn't be doing. So your friends might dare you to confess your feelings to someone you like.
Yeah.
In this case,
Yes.
it's not that you shouldn't be doing it, but it's more like maybe not everybody would be willing to do.
Yeah, some silly stuff. You normally wouldn't do, but they dare you to do.
Exactly.
Okay, truth or dare 就是真心话大冒险了，所以 dare 就是大冒险，就是赌你敢不敢。I dare you to cheat me. OK， 谅你呢也不敢欺骗我，这个就是赌你敢不敢，就是可以用 dare 这个单字。
To be confined, okay, which we saw earlier. To be confined to a place means to restrain or forbid someone from leaving a place.
OK，confine 这个动词就表示限制或是使局限。注意到呢，它后面加上一个 to， 这个 to 呢是一个介系词后面加上一个地方，就表示呢你被困在这里，你被限制在这里了。比方说 ，He was confined to bed。OK， 他困在床上，为什么呢 ？By illness， 他因病卧床。或者是呢，我们也可以讲说，我们限制了一个范围不一定是你人被困在哪里，也有可能是我们讨论主题等等的。We will confine our discussion to the main issue. OK， 我们将只讨论主要的问题，我们把我们讨论的议题呢限制在这个主要问题，不要离题不要发散这样的意思。
That's very important in a meeting because a lot of times, there's more than one person in the meeting and then everybody will have their own ideas.
Goes on and on
forever.
And on.
Okay, then we saw the phrase to feel bad, which means to feel sorry or ashamed about something. You can say, I feel bad for making you wait. Maybe your friend's been waiting for you for kind of a long time. Or I feel bad about not being able to come to your party.
OK, feel bad 呢，它除了我们刚刚讲的那个意思，它也可以表示不舒服你身体不舒服。但是呢，像刚刚 Angeline 讲，如果你是 feel bad about something, OK， 比方说呢 I feel bad about not being able to come to your party， 我觉得呢很抱歉没有办法参加你的 party。这边呢就是它表示很抱歉，你也可以说 feel sorry about something 或是 feel sorry for something。
And also the phrase to have a better sense. So to have a better sense of something means to understand something better.
OK, sense 我们常常中文很常说你有没有 sense， 所以呢如果你有 sense 的话，表示你对这个东西很了解了。Have a better sense of something 就表示你对这个事情呢你有更多的了解，更好的认识了。
Now let's take a look at our second sample. But before we talk about that, Sam, did you feel like you had the freedom to pursue, which means to go after whatever you like when you were a child?
I think yes, I probably had the freedom because my parents, they are not like very
strict or
not very strict, but I never tried to pursue anything when I was a kid. I didn't think too much. It was all the time watching anime, playing video games. So.
I see. Okay. So you're talking about restrictions, right?
Yeah.
So restrictions are rules that limit or control what people can do. So for me, like I had a lot of restrictions placed on me when I was young.
Yeah, no dating.
No dating was one, and also I had a curfew, which means like I had to be home at a certain time if I went out with my friends. I can't remember because it kind of was a long time ago. But my parents were actually pretty strict. I think I also couldn't really talk on the phone. Last time we didn't have smartphones, right?
Yeah.
You had to talk on the landline, which is like the only phone that everybody else's uses, right? You couldn't share. So I don't think I was allowed. And I think I wasn't allowed to use the internet maybe after a certain time. I had to go to bed at 9. Very strict,
OK, 所以 restriction 这个字呢就是这个禁止禁令，比方说呢什么东西不能进出口。那在我们身上呢，比方说像 Angeline 就说他在他小时候呢，他的父母就给了他很多的这个禁止，很多的禁令比方说9点以前要睡觉不能讲电话讲太久不能够 dating， 不能够交男朋友等等，很多很多的我们就可以说 restrictions.
Okay, so to forbid someone to do something is pretty much to put a restriction on them, right? It means to not allow someone to do something.
OK, 所以呢我们看到 forbid 就是禁止你去做什么事情，你可以说 forbid someone to do something. OK, 禁止他做什么事情，其实就是我们刚刚讲的 put restrictions on somebody. OK, 你在他身上放了这个禁止令 OK, 禁止他去做什么事情，我们就可以用 forbid 这个动词。
Right. And we also saw the phrase instant connection, okay? To have an instant connection means to click which is another way, with that person, which means you get along very well. You have a lot in common maybe, or you have a lot to talk about. So an instant connection is it's definitely very important when you want to meet somebody. Even friends, not just boyfriend and girlfriend, but even friends. Like if you have an instant connection, you just talk.
Even co-workers.
Yeah, that's right.
An instant connection 马上就连接了，其实我们就可以讲就是 click with一个人 OK 后面加一个人，其实这个就是我们中文讲的一见如故，你一见到他就觉得很熟，很多话可以聊，这个时候我们就可以说 an instant connection.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to just take a quick break before we continue with the rest of our lesson. Unit 12, Topic-Based Writing, May 22nd. What I gained during my loss of freedom. Writing Sample 1. I will never forget the month that my parents wouldn't let me go out or hang out with my friends as punishment for crashing their scooter. I was only 16 at the time, so I wasn't allowed to drive, but my friends had dared me to do it. My parents were furious, and with the exception of school, they confined me to the house. They wouldn't even let me chat with my friends on my phone or exercise by playing basketball after school. The first week, I stayed in my room, feeling bad for myself. After that, I started looking for ways to keep myself busy, so I asked my father to teach me how to maintain the family car and scooter. At the end of the month, I had a much better sense of how to care for a vehicle and what it costs. By taking the focus off missing my friends and having fun, my lack of freedom taught me about responsibility, allowing me to earn back my parents' trust and gain a new skill. Writing Sample 2. As human beings, many of us greatly value the freedom to live and do as we like. However, we aren't always free to pursue what we want, especially when we're young. Like many kids my age, I had restrictions placed on me by my parents. In particular, they forbade me from dating when I entered high school. I didn't really think much of it. That is, until I met Hiro. Hiro and I had an instant connection, but we both knew our parents would be furious if they found out we were together. So, we met up secretly after school. We would study together for a little while, then go out and have fun. I think my parents were suspicious at times, but they didn't push the issue too much because I kept my grades up and had friends who covered for me. Hiro and I aren't together anymore, but I'm glad I got to know him. I proved to myself that I could handle a relationship while still maintaining my responsibilities. Okay, so we've come to the end of our episode for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed our lesson. We did talk a lot about our loss of freedom.
Yeah, different types of freedom. It's either like forbidden you from dating or physically.
Going to the army.
Going to the army, physical illness,
I think, but we can all agree on one thing, which is it sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world to have your freedom taken away from you, right?
That's true.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us today. I'm Angeline.
And I'm Sam.
Bye.
Bye.